besides the service quality FinTech could offer, what other plus value FinTech can offer to the consumer and the customer in Indonesia, especially regarding the protection as well?
Right. So throughout the globe, FinTech has three key things to provide. That's what it is. That's the reason that it is able to do what it is able to do, is speed, convenience, and simplicity.
Yeah.
So these are the three things. So when they redesign, the products and services are same. If you think about it, for the consumer, it is the same money, whether it is coming in the form of borrowing through an app or through going through a bank channel. It's just the experience changes. So that's what FinTech provides. Security, yes, definitely. That cyber security is one of the key areas, not only for FinTech and banks, throughout anybody who is holding data.
Yeah. How do you see the recent IT issue regarding this kind of services? Because some people are still a bit cautious about using the services since everything is simply based on technology. People are still convenienced with a human or in-person touch or relationship regarding the lending or whatsoever on the services industry. How do you see this? How the industry could cope with this kind of environment where we still have this kind of mindset that it's a bit worrying or it's not really that secure to use the services industry based on the technology?
Right. So if you see in the history, every time it happens, it takes some time for the new technology to get adopted.
Right.
If you go back long back in history, when the cars were invented in 1900s, at that time, it took 30 years for the car industry to be able to sell cars to everybody in a city.
Agreed.
People were still comfortable with the horse carts.
Right.
Similarly, when the credit cards we were able to put in the e-commerce, Amazon or any e-commerce sites, it took 10 years for the people to get comfortable in inserting their credit card details in the e-commerce sites. So this just the start of it. People will be concerned, and they should be also. They should be cautious. But as we move forward, industry will take steps to make people secure, and the people will also take some steps to learn how to keep themselves secure, and it will change.
So about process, and it takes time, as you said just now. Anyway, the speed of the market acceptance, how do you see from Indonesia?
Speed of market acceptance, given the way the Indonesians are accepting any new app, the way they're ready to try, I'm very optimistic that any new app over here, any new product in FinTech would be tested very fast.
Since this is a very promising and prospective business, for the later session, we would like to discuss more with you both gentlemen the sustainability of this business. Who should we target it regarding this financial technology-based services in Indonesia? Is it pretty effective to target it on them, the youth digital native, or you have the other calculation on this?
We should not only target the ones who are using it. If you take the example of Facebook, when the Facebook started, people would have thought that only the youngs are going to use Facebook. The older generation won't use
People
Facebook.
at my age, for example.
Right?
Also
but if you see that the situation is different, today everyone is using Facebook. So that's the responsibility of the FinTech industry to make sure, because mobile phone and the smartphone is there with everyone. So everyone who needs the product should be targeted.
The market acceptance is already there. It's pretty obvious, and it still existed. And then, what do you call it? The promising target market is also there. Demographically speaking, we're also offering a very huge market. Then, where we can start, especially to cover the space, like how to bridge the gap on the financing, how FinTech could help on this.
So we can take our example, right? So we started in 2014. We are primarily the first in Indonesia to be called FinTech. So being a bank also, we started a startup within the company. So Tunaiku is a startup which is lending to the consumers, low end up to the 10 million rupiah. So how we started is that because this is the market which is not tapped yet. So this is one example which can be taken, that there is a huge market. We don't have to go after the same market which is being served. In SME there is a market, in consumer lending there is a big market. So the FinTech companies could start anywhere, the market is that big.
Right.